Okay, perfect. So hello and welcome to the Brother Slim. This is Cam, and this is hopefully not the final session. Actually, no, it wouldn't be the final one. It might be the second to last one. Session of People of the Stormlit Lancer in my very first Kingdom Death campaign. We are going up against the Watcher itself, himself, herself, itself, I think. And yeah, I'm very curious how this fight's going to go. We have a failsafe from a settlement event where basically if things go horribly, we can reset and redo a fight. So it's nice to have that in the pocket. And other than that, we've done a couple of upgrades. What do we have here? Which is pretty cool. And I figured since this is technically potentially the end game of the campaign, that we would get some new survivor minis painted up. So we have our support slash bow wielder here, Felt, with the arc bow. Oops. Well, there we go. And then we have a updated Arluzidin. Wait, hello, Mike. How you doing? Stormlighters indeed. So figured since this guy's kind of been MVP of the campaign, we'd do up a new mini for him too. So this is our Fist and Tooth slash Twilight Sword fella wearing full rolling armor, which is pretty cool. Get that in focus. So this is one of the promo special sculpts from the Gambler's Chest, and it was a little fun conversion job. Put him back down. And then I think those are the only two new ones, because I believe Hasina, our Acanthus Doctor's been used before too, but there she is just in case. There we go. And I think I've showed it off before, but here we have the finished Watcher, which I was kind of intimidated to paint. It was just a lot of stuff going on and some fragile bits. But it was a lot of fun. I did a little bit of a conversion, so it looks like it's kind of more jellyfish-like and kind of ethereal, shall we say. And yeah, it was a fun one. Very fun indeed. If I was a better painter, I would have taken some time to try OSL, but I've never been very good at it, so decided not to. But yeah, there is the Watcher. Hopefully we are victorious, and it doesn't end our careers tonight. Okay, well, with that little preamble out of the way, let us hop right to it. Okay, so I think this thing is masculine adjacent because of this art, unless that's supposed to be Survivor. Unsure, but very cool. Long ago, ravenous beasts searched the darkness, using their keen senses to find their prey. In the distance, they saw a blooming pillar of light surrounded by tasty morsels, bustling in their tiny industry. Yum. Licking their chops, they approached, but the beasts halted mid-step. The wind carried a foul, menacing presence. Surely the busy creatures were harmless. Yet, the menacing warning persisted, felt in their very bones. Instinctively, the beasts turned away, seeking their meals elsewhere. Cool, so that presence is obviously the Watcher, and we got a whole bunch of rules here. So let's see, what do we have? So Instinct, Absorb, move the Watcher directly to the center of the showdown board. All survivors gain -1 strength token. Watcher heals 1d5 wounds. We haven't seen Instincts come up too much. That doesn't sound very fun, so hopefully we don't see that too much, because -1 strength sounds no bueno. It's got 12 basic actions, but it also has life, so we never get rid of those cards. Toughness is equal to 25, which is insane. I was struggling with getting the, 18 on the Butcher, but then again, it wasn't necessarily struggling to hit, it was struggling to wound because of his invincible thing, so we'll see how this goes. And then we have some special things. So we have Indomitable, so it always stands up right away, basically. Life, we got that already. Retinue and Audience. Let's look at Audience first. Is that going to focus? There we go. Almost, not quite. There we go. Terrified survivors spectate the battle in silence. Embolden, if there are less than 4 non-retinue survivors on the showdown board, a survivor from the settlement may depart and enter the showdown. Place them in an unoccupied space along the board edge. Cool, so we can have many folks coming into play, which is interesting. You did too good of a conversion. It's going to make the Watcher extra tough. No, Daddy, no. Oh, alas. Okay, Retinue. So you may, if you have the Survivor status, you may summon a Retinue, March, Double March, and Coordinated Attack. Coordinated Attack is, I looked at this briefly before, and it's the one that I think I'll be keen on. When a survivor attacks, add +6 strength to the wound attempt total for each retinue adjacent to them. For each retinue adjacent to them. Oh, actually, when a survivor attacks, rather than it just being any. So that's pretty cool. Like that a lot. And then there's some other ones called Stolen Dreams and Horripilation that'll come into play throughout the fight. And I'm also curious how the retinue ones come into play too, but we'll get things going and see. All right, so survivors go first. Well, very, very curious. Let us see how this is going to be. I think going to start things off with, what does this guy do? Is what I'm most curious about. So let's start with a little hit location scouting, and that'll be with Felt, our bow lady. So we are going to check out the top 3 cards of the hit location deck and see what we get. Void Epidermis. First strike. Attacker loses 2 survival. If they cannot, they die instantly. Oh gosh. Reflex. Outraged hissing fills the air. Turn the watcher to face the attacker, then move them 3 spaces backwards. Cancel all hits not out of range. Joyful. Void Hood, also first strike. With a failure, attacker gains -1 strength token. Turn the watcher to face the furthest board edge and full move forward. It's a critical wound there, which is nice. Echoing Shrieks intoxicate you. Attacker gains +2 strength tokens. And you perform Embolden. Interesting. And Void Tentacles. Bash, knockback 10, critical wound. Archive all stolen dreams. Okay. Fun stuff. Well, let's put Void Epidermis on the bottom because we don't like the look of that. And then we are going to spend a survival, getting it back on a 6. Nope, that's too bad. Felt's going down to 8. And do another action, which is going to be... actually... One moment, I might actually change that. Yes, we are going to change that. Let's do that. There we go. Okay, cool. So the change I'm going to do is I'm actually going to attack with the bow because the bow is not going to be able to wound, and we just want to get rid of that Void Epidermis because it didn't sound good. So with the arc bow, we can attack from 9 spaces away. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are all good. So let's go ahead and make an attack with Felt. Which is going to be hitting on a 5. Alas, that's unfortunate. That is a 3. Okay, well, let's move, because I saw somewhere that we don't want to be far or the furthest person away, and everyone else is melee. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're probably still going to be the furthest, but we shall see about that. Okay. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would have to be a dash. Well, let's dash with Hasina and get in there. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Up to there. Technically speaking, 7. We could get in the blind spot, but I don't think it's going to matter. So with Hasina. Hasina, where are you at? There we go. So this is going down to 8 survival. And with the Digging Claw, we're hitting on a 2+. That's pretty amazing. 8, so we definitely hit. So that is good. And so we draw the card that we're just trying to get rid of. So first strike, attacker loses 2 survival. If they cannot, let's get that focus, they die instantly. So losing 2 survival. And yeah, let's see if we can wound. So we would need a 10 on the dice to wound here. Nope. Okay, reflex. Outrage hissing fills the air. Turn the watcher to face the attacker, then move them 3 spaces backwards. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay. So, tactical maneuver. Because what we're going to do now is go in with our beastie boy, or lose it in here with the Twilight Sword. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Getting into the blind spot. Let's just shuffle this up a little bit more. And our Lucidin is kind of a monster. So Fist and Tooth Master, really good with his bare hands, but then he's also got the Twilight Sword, which we'll put up here. Actually, let's do it this way so we can actually see all the other good stuff. So I get 5 attacks with it, which is honestly more than I want. And I hit on 2 pluses. Well, yeah, 2 pluses because you couldn't hit on 1. That'd be a fail anyways. With 18 strength, and it's got Devastating 2, which means that if I do wound with it, it's 3 wounds. So pretty bonkers. Let's see about this. So 3, 4, 5. We're hitting on 2s and getting extra attacks on perfect hits. Okay, so that is a full suite, and we do get a perfect hit. So let's see, let's just take it from there. 4. So we get 6 hits. I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing. We shall see. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is either going to be really good for us or horrible. Okay, so we have a first strike. Super dense plus impervious. Well, let's just go through these because we have a big heckin' chunk of things here. So Void Hood, we've seen this one before. There's a crit, which we do like. So we are going to have to do that one. We don't like the failure. Don't like the failure at all, but we got to start with it first. Okay, Void Tentacles. Reflex, Bash, Knockback 10. This is the other one that we read. Okay, Void Plexus. Perform basic action targeting the attacker. Critical wound. Cool stuff, and we'll get to that. Void Gastrodermis. Suddenly jets through the attacker, passing crackling through the survivor's nerves. 3 brain damage and 1 bleeding token. Move the watcher to the center of the board. If the attacker has 6+ courage, then we grab onto it as it passes. Gain another bleeding token and place the attacker adjacent to the monster. So that's pretty cool. Blackened Lantern. Super dense plus impervious. Lantern reflects your hopeless visage. Attacker suffers 3 brain damage. Critical wound. Inverted gravity. The watcher tumbles to the ground, collapsing in a heap. It is knocked down. Okay, Void Corpus. Okay, so we don't necessarily like Void Corpus, but it doesn't cause the thing to move, so that is something. All right, so it's going to be the Hood. Let's go with the Blackened Lantern next. Just listing these all out here. We don't like Void Tentacles. We don't really care for that one. Okay, here we go. This is our lineup here. Void Hood, Blackened Lanterns, Void Corpus, Void Plexus, Void Gastrodermis, Void Tentacles. Creepy, 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 and fun stuff. Okay, so with the 18 strength, it's 2, we wound on 7s. This one does have a crit though, and we crit on, and let me double check what we crit on. Oh my god. We crit on a 5, which is insane. Okay, so we crit. Fantastic. Echoing Shrieks intoxicate you. Attacker gains +2 strength tokens. We may perform an Embolden, which we don't need to do right now because we have everybody. So +2 strength tokens. There we go. Awesome, awesome. And that is 3 wounds, which is pretty crazy. So down to 12. I think I'm just going to count up. That's easier. So we'll start at 1, has become 3 wounds. Wild. So this fight is either going to be really easy or horrific. I think that's the only thing here. Okay, so critical wound is done. Fantastic. Let's check out Blackened Lantern. So again, critting on a 5. Okay, we don't. That's okay. Lantern reflects your hopeless visage. Attacker suffers 3 brain damage. That we shall. Going down to 32. Boom, boom. There we go. And that card is finished. Void Corpus. Okay. So critting on a 5. We crit. Fantastic. Critical wound. Strange sparks fly where the watcher wearily scrapes the ground. Attacker gains 1 survival. And we could Embolden if we needed to. So that's another 3 wounds, which is insane. So we're up to 6 wounds. There we go. Okay. And then we didn't need to worry about the Void Nexus wound response there because we got the crit, which is awesome. Okay, so again, with the Void Plexus, critting on a 5. We just get it. Amazing. So a violent spasm. The light pattern makes your eyes cross. Attacker gains 1d10 insanity. And that's up to 9 wounds. Jesus Christ. This Twilight Sword and our super OP survivor combo is nuts. Okay, plus 10 insanity. So we gain 10. Going up to, oh my god, 42. Wild. Okay, and next up we have Void Gastrodermis. So there's no crit, so it's going to do this reflex thing anyway. Let's see, so 2. I don't think 2 actually... Oh, actually it might now. Let's just double check here because we got that 2 extra strength. 20. No, that does not wound. So reflex. We suffer 3 brain damage and gain 1 bleeding token. There we go. And move the Watcher to the center of the showdown board. So up to there. If the attacker has 6+ courage, which we definitely do, we can gain a bleeding token and follow it. You know what? I'm assuming it means we can't do the next card, but I'm okay not, because if there's a whole bunch of bleed, we don't have a lot of good ways to get rid of bleed. Yeah, insane Twilight Devastator. And I think if we lose our Twilight Devastator or lose it in, we would be in a bit of a pickle, no matter how many wounds we had left to do. So I think we're going to stick back there and... Oh my god. Do we dash and surge with our lose it in? Maybe we do that. Yeah, let's do it. Balls to it. So going down to... Yeah, thank you, bruh. It was the Gambler's Chest's narrative sculpts are so cool, and I'm all for converting and bashing the multi-part ones. But I gotta say, like as someone who loves converting and putting together all kinds of minis, they're kind of finicky, and some of them are quite frustrating. And the narrative sculpts are just so freaking beautiful. Okay, I think we are going to surge and dash and do that all over again. This might be a bad idea because there is a trap in here somewhere, but we can't really see too far ahead anyway. So let's do it. Spending the 2 survival that we just gained, going down to 5 once more. And yeah, let's try that again. So 5 attacks, hitting on 2s. 2, 4, 5. Okay, so that is going to be a full suite of hits, and we do get another attack from... our fighting art. Nice. So that is 6 again. Goodness gracious. Okay. So we get Void Shroud, Void Polyps, Void Nerve Net, 3 more, Void Nerve Mask, Tentacle Crown, and lastly, Void Toxin. Oh my goodness. So we've drawn 12 cards and have yet to see the trap yet, and I'm pretty stoked on that. If he gets to follow, he can continue the wound cards. Yeah, that was my thought too. And I was curious if it was worth, because I missed it, and so I wouldn't have been able to take him out that turn, that specific attack anyways. And so I don't know if it's worth getting a bleed token if there's a whole bunch of bleed, because I've never fought this guy before. Okay, so we have Tentacle Crown, which is a first strike, so we'll have to do that one first. Survival, attacker loses 2 survival. They cannot gain a Stolen Dream survivor status card. And then, okay, wound effect 2. We don't love the failure one there, so let's see. We also don't necessarily love that reflex. Let's do Void Polyps. Void Nerve Mask. Void Shroud. There we go. This is going to be the order that we're doing things. Okay, so Tentacle Crown. So we lose 2 survival, going down to 3. So we are low there. They cannot, they gain a Stolen Dream survivor status card. And let's see if we wound. So we are going to wound on a 5 and crit on a 5. Who needs to crit on a 5 when you can get a Lantern 10 anyways? Well, I guess there's no crit, so it's just a wound. Luminescent ooze splashes over the ground. Turn the Watcher to face the attacker, then move the monster 3 spaces backwards. Uh-oh. That's not... That does not spark joy. So that would cause some effects there. Let's just see. So it'd be 1, 2, 3. So you are there. And we do 3 wounds going up to 12. So that would be, there we go, up to 12. So our Lucidin just needs to hit once more, which is insane. That's just completely bonkers. Okay, so that's going to suffer... That is just a move, I think, right? Nice. So we'll go knock down. And to the belt. Okay. There we go. Oh, Mike just had a question. Because the Watcher had teleported away, I had enough courage to follow it, and I could have and then gotten the additional attack, but I ended up choosing not to. Trying to be calm and tactical, but I don't know if it was the right decision, because this Tentacle Crown kind of screwed me over for a really, really quick victory. Or Lucidin the Barbarian, Conan's second cousin. Indeed! Okay, so we still do those wounds, so we're good there, but we don't get to do the rest of the cards because we are no longer in range. It doesn't say cancel, but... Oh no, yeah, cancel while it's out of range. Okay, so we've done that, and we have one more person to go. Let's get them... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to there, and they are going to block with their Bacon Shield. And that is the end of our turn. So let us see what this horrible gribbly creature is going to do. Purify. Come on, get that in focus. So I'm using just smartphones for cameras, or for the camera and then for the app on my phone. And my phone is older, but the camera on it actually focuses better than the nice new one that I'm using for the recording. So I'm tempted to switch it up, but I also really don't want to have to redo all the photos in the app. Okay, closest survivor. That is, going to be our support, which we do not love. Okay, especially when it's 5 damage. So, yeah, this does not spark joy at all. Is there anything that Felt can do? I don't think so, but let's see. No. Okay, yeah, so this is probably going to be gross, but we'll see what happens. Felt, do you have any... You have 2 evasions, so this is going to be 2 dice hitting on 4s. 2 hits. We do have 2 Fresher Cantus with us, so that is something. Okay, so waist and hands, 5 damage it is, so both of them are down to 0 armor, and checking the severe injuries, but no happy fun table rolls yet, so that is something. Yeah, that's correct there, brah. Cool, so she is knocked down, but not doing happy fun table rolls. Remove all positive attribute modifier tokens from the targets. If any plus strength tokens were removed this way, Watcher gains +1 damage tokens. So she doesn't have any +1 tokens. I think she's the only person that doesn't. So you know what? That was pretty good. I am okay with that. So Purify is done. Oh, cool. Very cool. After this campaign's over, I was torn between going ahead with the Gamblers, people of the Dreamkeeper, or doing People of the Stars, because I've got the Dragon King also. And I got to have a lovely chat with Adam at Gen Con, and very excited for a People of the Frog Dog and Black Knight Dreamkeeper. It's going to be doggo themed, and I am here for it. Okay, so our turn. What makes the most sense? So you do get to get up because the monster has had its turn. You do not. Let's encourage. Hasina will spend a survival to get Felt up, going down to 5. Felt stands up. And let's go with Felt first. I think they are going to stay where they are. They're going to move 1 just back to there. Maybe 1 more. And they are going to use good old Cat Eye Circlet and Hit Location Scan. 1, 2, 3. What do we have here? First strike again. So there are a lot of first strikes in this. Okay, so we're going to be... well, I guess we might as well keep it. And we're not really too concerned about any of these. Let's put the first strike on the bottom, just in case. Let's go with you. And you're going to move up a little bit. 1, 2, 3... Actually, no, let's not do that. Let's just go in with our Lucidin and see what happens. So 5 attacks, 2, 4, 5. Hitting on, let me double check here. I think it was just 2s, but just to be sure. Yep, hitting on 2s. You know what? No perfect hits is good. We do get the full 5. I wouldn't have actually mind even just 1 or 2 misses. But full 5. So let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh my goodness, still no trap. We're getting very low in that deck, but we're still trapless. Okay, so we do have 2 first strikes. Now let's look at these first. So we have Failure is -1 strength token. Turn the Watcher to face for this board edge and full move. Attack loses 2 survival. Bitter taste of ozone. Okay, so they are... We only need one of these, though. So there is that. Okay, well, let's do the first strike that has some fun effects, from a crit at least. So critting on a 5, and if we crit, we win, which is bonkers. Yeah, super excited for stars. I've teased it, or not teased it, I've spoiled it a little bit just from looking into the game so much over the last year or so, but I haven't looked into any of the actual content within the campaign, so very excited. And I kind of thought the frog dog with the kind of portents and such would be a great way to lean into the constellations later on. Again, not really knowing a whole bunch about them, but just that those are 2 things that are in the game. Mucho Burrito excited. Yeah, Shield Boy in the Trap is going to be our go-to if need be. Okay, so we win on a 5. Oh, and a Lantern 10. How thematic is that? Well, after the debacle that was a level 3 Butcher, we quite literally chanced our way into getting the Twilight Sword a couple of Lantern years ago and managed to get it up to a decent proficiency level. I was not planning on using the Twilight Sword at all, let alone on our Fist and Tooth survivor, and they just literally steamrolled this fight, and it would have been so much harder without it. Wild. Okay, so critical strike. A sweet musk spills from the wound. The scent is exhilarating. Attacker gains +3 courage and 3 understanding. Yeah, super wild. I was also unaware of the toughness equating to the Lanterneer. So I think next time I'm going to try not to use the Twilight Sword, and I might try and fight this fellow earlier, because I was definitely, this being my very first campaign ever and trying to go in kind of blind, I was not very efficient at all with any of probably my first 6, maybe even to 10 Lanterneers. So I think I'll be able to do a much better time next time. Okay, so 3 understanding and 3 courage. I think let's see, understanding and courage are maxed out, so never mind, we're all good there. So just getting the vaguest glimpse at this fight, really cool and trippy. So obviously the sword just totally trivialized it, but the idea of how much it moves and how debilitating this guy can be and also doing a substantial amount of damage is really interesting, especially with how many first strikes there seem to be. To be fair, I was picking up 5 to 6 cards each hit there, but a lot of first strikes, and it seems like a lot of movement, which feels like it would make for a really engaging, challenging fight. So really cool. Trivialized entirely by the sword, but that's okay. Kind of the equivalent of, what's the term for those, like a pavement princess, shall we say, rather than being an off-roader. We'll see you again sometime, Watcher. You were a lot of fun. Okay, so the better the conversion, the easier the fight. Gonna get to work on the models. Heck yeah! That sounds good to me. And it's kind of too bad I was using the Nightmare Tree, the bottom of the terrain card, to use as a movement tray for this block of survivors from yesteryears in the campaign, which we didn't get to see. But that'll come out in the next one, I'm sure. Cool, cool, cool. Well, let's move these fellows out of the way here. Yeah, didn't even use retinue. And I was curious how retinue works too, because I was under the impression, I didn't see it in the rules, I could have missed it, but does everyone start with retinue as a survivor status, or is there a way, do you gain it through the fight? I mean, I literally only saw a single AI card, which is bonkers. Also the first time with life, again, just totally trivialized by the fight. Cool. Well, I mean, that will keep the fight very fresh for the next time I fight him sometime in the future. Who knows when the next Watcher fight will be, but we shall see. So let's pull this up here. Just gonna actually pull this back a little bit. It's quite low to the table. And there we go. Quick drink of water. Yeah, I read through it. Cannot attack. I just didn't see if the survivors were supposed to start with it, or it was supposed to be something that is picked up during the fight. But I'll figure that out for next time. Let's look at the victory aftermath. With a terrific hiss, the Watcher deflates onto the floor. A moment passes, no longer than the single beat of a heart, before lanterns all over the chamber explode in a dazzling array of colors. An intense, luminescent goo washes over the survivors, and they feel triumph. All living survivors gain a +1 permanent strength, then blackout. Oh, wild. Oh, you do not start with one, you just summon them. Cool, gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, I think I'm going to do the +1 permanent survival just off screen rather than one by one adding a strength to everybody. So let's do blackout. Ooh, that is some gorgeous black and white art. Cool. One thing that I've tried not to spoil myself is going through the books and seeing all of the stunning art, because it is so good. Cool, very cool. Blackout, and then we've also got this lantern over here, which looks very interesting. Very interesting indeed. All at once, without warning, the collected sum of the settlement's lanterns go black. The settlement is plunged into darkness. Ooh. Life at the bottom. The survivor's victory over the Watcher is a meaningless event in the teeming world around them. The settlement's conviction is shaken. Lose the ultimate weapon or final fighting art. Okay, so we no longer just get to choose a straight up resource every fight anymore. That was really powerful. How can something so insignificant continue to survive? Unless a greater purpose beyond death awaits. The settlement discovers a way to cope and innovates destiny. Cool, let's grab that. Destiny. Destiny. Let's just put those up there. What do we have here? Destiny. Survival limit +1. The settlement's future is unavoidable. All survivors gain the Endure survival action. You may spend 7 survival minus your luck to ignore a severe injury before you roll a result. Cool. That might be really powerful on just our Lucidin, honestly, because he's got so much luck. That's still really sweet, though. Destiny. Cool. So we'll put that there. And continue to life in the darkness. Put this up a little bit higher here, too. It's a little bit more engaging. The Watcher's tangled lantern mass is extinguished. Archive the Lantern Horde settlement and gain the exhausted Lantern Horde settlement. The settlement can no longer innovate. Okay, we'll look at that in a sec here. The darkness closes in as the survivors gather around the fading lights of the Watcher. Dang, so I definitely missed out on some innovations that I wanted, but that's okay. The darkness closes in as the survivors gather around the fading lights of the Watcher. Tangled in its sinews, a final lantern remains. The light within pulses and swirls with desperate energy. The settlement tears a strange new lantern from the corpse and gains the final lantern rare gear. Anyone that holds it bristles with energy. Visions of wisdom and coursing vigor jolt from the lantern through the survivor. The settlement quickly discovers they can use the final lantern to repair broken ones. Gain 3 survivor's lantern gear cards. Okay, cool. So let's do these things really quick. Storage. Gear. And rare gear. Final lantern, where art thou? This is the rare gear, isn't it? Yes. Blue lantern. Okay, so I think that's probably it. I don't actually have it in here, but let's just do that. And then 3 survivors lantern gear cards. Survivors lanterns. Let's see. Okay, just gonna look for the final lantern gear card first. I don't know what the blue one is. It. Adventure Swords, Regal Stuff, which never saw because I never beat the Kingsman. Although who knows, maybe we'll come up next. Teeth Bikini, Lantern, Trish Crown. Oh, I think I'm looking in the wrong spot. This is going to be in the, let's see, in the exhausted section. Okay, here we go. Final lantern. Let's get that in focus. There we go. So final lantern. Vital. On arrival, all survivors gain the Horripilation status card. See the Watcher's AI deck. When not insane, flip this card. Gain the Horripilation. Interesting. I'm curious what the difference is. Other... Should be. Okay, that's cool. And let's see about survival lantern. There we go. 1, 2, 3 of them. Let's take a little looky. So no effects, but it does have affinities, which is nice. Cool. So let's see. I was looking in the wrong area there. So blue lantern, no. Oxidized lantern horde. There we go. Final lantern. Oh, this is where the oxidized gear is too. That's very cool. And we have 3 survivor lanterns. They continue to final knowledge. The final knowledge. Final lantern glitters with nervous energy. The settlement commences lantern research. Very interesting. What page is the lantern research on? 139. That art is awesome. I haven't actually had that come out into play yet either. That's from the Butcher fight, if I remember. Okay, Lantern Research. More phenomenal, creepy, cool art of people despairing in the settlement, it looks like. Okay, lots of text here. Let's see. Without hope, tenacity drives the settlement forward. The final lantern carries the bristling remains of the knowledge consumed by the Watcher. Its energy jumps nervously between lanterns. Occasionally, it imbues the survivors with brilliant flashes of power. A light for the darkness. Without the Watcher's protective presence, the darkness teems with powerful creatures. To leave the settlement, all survivors must depart with a light source, a gear of the lantern keyword. As long as they have it, one survivor must always depart with the final lantern rare gear in their grid. Okay. The final lantern is vital. The survivors cannot travel without it. If the survivor holding the final lantern perishes before the showdown, another survivor must pick up the final lantern, discarding gear to make room on their grid if needed. Okay, so the game is changing a little. Flickering in the darkness. At the start of the showdown, the light of the final lantern emboldens the survivors. Each survivor gains a Horripilation status card. The survivor holding the final lantern starts with the death die on Horripilation. Death die, orange 10-sided die, replaces the monster controller tile. The player of the survivor with the death die controls the monster. At the start of each subsequent round, pass the death die to the Horripilation card to the left. The Watcher's final emanations continue to jump between lanterns of survivors that cannot act, including dead or absent survivors. Okay, so this is going to be some learning because this is something that we didn't see in the fight. Instead of the benefits of the monster controller tile, you may use pulse discoveries. Set the lantern's research level to 1. Your settlement gains aggression overload. Spend additional resources to unlock new discoveries. Once per round, the survivors with the death die may use one of the settlement's unlocked pulse discoveries. If the final lantern is lost or archived, it is gone forever. Survivors cannot use the death die. Return to using the monster controller tile. Interesting. So I'm kind of curious how that plays with playing solo. My assumption is just rotate characters based on where they are in the app, I guess. Once per Lanternier, spend 2 bone, 2 hide, 2 organs to research. Okay, so we've gotten rid of innovations and now we have research. Your Lantern research level unlocks the corresponding pulse discoveries below. So we have aggression overload. Add an attack roll to an attack. During your attack, after making your attack rolls, but before drawing hit locations, you may roll the death die as an additional attack roll. That's interesting phrasing, but I think I understand. So basically, you get a additional attack, is what it's saying. You can also move a whole bunch. Very interesting. Okay, so that is pretty cool. Lantern Research. I think let's go ahead and just tab in on this page because we're going to be coming back to it for sure. Okay, cool. Well, that is very exciting. We need lanterns now, which is tricky because I've been struggling to fit all the gear that I want to in gear grids, and now that's going to be a little bit more challenging, but that's okay. We'll work with it. And yeah, we'll see about new loadouts for the future. So let's put this away down here. And I suppose I do need to go back to our survivors here and end this fight in the app. Complete showdown. Hunt XP, Hesina's going to gain age 2. That's nice. No weapon specializations earned, though, which is too bad. But that is the way it is. Timeline. Okay, so we've got some timeline stuff to do. We aren't going to be able to do too much, though, because we have 0 resources, but that's all right. So first things first, let's do the settlement event. Okay, heat wave. Da-da-da-da. It is impossibly hot. Any returning survivors with heavy or fur gear have a heat stroke and may not depart this lantern year. Okay, good to know. So that means our lose it in, and I think, let's take a little looky here at who we had. Not Felt, Hesina, probably you. Let's take a look. Nope, not Hesina, that's nice. Tien, any of your gear heavy? No, nice. Oh, nope, never mind. Yeah, the bacon shield is heavy. Okay, so our main tank isn't going to be able to come. That's too bad, but it's just those two. All right, so what else do we have here? Heatwave prevents science and education. If you depart with heavy gear and your gear grids, set your survival to 0 after applying all bonuses. Okay, so Heatwave is nasty. Finding fluids. We can spend an endeavor and either find nothing, depart with heavy gear as normal. Your settlement finds enough fluid to deal with heat. You may endeavor normally. Breathe fumes. Scrape boiled goo from the bottom of a pot and inhale, +1 understanding. Gain a random disorder and intimacy, extra sense. Not really keen on that. We don't have the recipe enough stuff for cooking, just because we're the superheated beverage, although it's a great name. Let's spend an endeavor to find fluid here. So we go down to 7. And our hope is a 67. 4. Well, let's do another one. 8. You may endeavor normally. Okay. Maybe one more, because I really kind of want to have my goodies here. The heavy gear. 7. Yay. Okay, cool. So we are all squared away with the heat wave. Put that up there. That is good. And then from the Dung Beetle Nightbook, glad I actually had it kept aside here, let's take a look at Secret Meeting 19. Such cool art. Small thing, but I think it's really cool that it goes on to the other page too. I used to work in publishing in some kids' books who do that, and it was always really cool to see. Cool. Very cool. Secret Meeting. Nominate the survivor with the least hunt XP and follow part 1. Okay, least hunt XP. We definitely have a few newbies right now. Do we have anyone named? Let's see. Let's do Scar. Scar's got 0. Once there was a boy that made friends with a monster. They often met in secret and played many games. The monster was very important to the boy, and he told no one about it. Why do you like to come and play? The boy asked the monster. Well, said the monster, my mind is very old. I have forgotten most of my life, and soon I remember nothing at all. Does it hurt? Asked the boy. Yes, replied the monster. You help me remember my life, and that brings me comfort. Will you always come and play? I promise, whenever I remember. The nominated survivor gains +1 understanding and the secretive disorder. Add secret meeting to the timeline, part 2 to the timeline 1 plus D5 years from now. Okay. Very, very interesting. Secretive disorder and 1 understanding for Scar. Let's go ahead and add that. 2 understanding and secretive disorder. What is secretive? When you are a returning survivor, you quickly become preoccupied with your own affairs. You must skip the next hunt to deal with them. Don't love that, but that's okay. Okay. Cool, so we've done that. We can't innovate anymore. We can't do the new fancy lantern innovation. We've also got nothing we can craft this year because we basically have nothing left. So let's take a look at... Where were we here? Barber Surgeon, Katarian, Leatherworker, Blacksmith, Weapon Crafter, Lantern Horde. So we'll flip. Nope, we don't flip this. It's a separate card. Okay, archive that. There we go. Exhausted Lantern Horde. Sad time. So that same art is really good. The sleeping predator is gone. Without its protective presence, intelligent monsters draw near. You may only hunt level 3+ monsters. Hey, well, it's about time I started hunting them, so that sounds good to me. All departing survivors must have 1 gear with the lantern keyword in their gear grid. If the settlement has the final lantern, 1 survivor must depart with it in their gear. Okay, so that is known to us. We're all good there. Just nice to have it all consolidated in one spot. Want to research. Oh, you're thinking the pulse discoveries. Yeah, 2 endeavors. Yeah, probably, hey. Oxidization. I guess we should probably look at oxidizing stuff too, eh? Can we oxidize the bacon shield? Glaive. Whips, swords, daggers. Oh, we can. So what's the difference with the oxidized bacon shield? Deflect 2. Oh, deflect. I think that's different than yeah, deflect is different than block. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I want that for sure. So yeah, let's do this. Let's do oxidization first because we don't know what it means. And just in case we need to use more endeavors, we're going down to 4. Oxidization. Let's grab you. Oxidization. What page art thou on? 149. Oxidization. Whoa, crazy art. Okay, what is going on here? We've got... looks like... I don't know what's going on. So there are people with sticks and lightning? I guess oxidizing stuff, but trippy cool art. And it looks like it's going on in the Watcher's room. Okay, you approach the defeated Watcher. Its body crackles with electricity. The crafting process requires a team. Nominate 3 other survivors and create coating and protective gear. If there are not enough survivors to nominate, you cannot proceed. Create coating and protective gear. Okay. Wild. Well, oh, I don't... Okay, cool. I don't know if I can actually do this right now, though. Let's just take a look. So, oxidized bacon shield. 1 bacon shield, 2 iron, and 1 hide. Do I have those? Let's see. Oops. That was too bad. I just broke one of the survivor minis. We'll be able to fix them back together, but... Dang it! Okay, we'll fix that later and go check out resources. Okay, so we got some lanterns. We've got a perfect bone. I don't think we need any bones, though. We just need 2 iron and 1 hide. Oxidizing you can't do now, but... implement cause. Okay, yeah, so there's no way I could do it. Okay, well, learning is cool too, and we get to see that sweet art, and we can come back and do that at a later date. So, back to this. Okay. So, lantern research, pulse discoveries. Oh, there's also an investigate. That's interesting. Unless you have poisoned. Okay, so we could die, which we don't like. Shaken, disorder, a broken lantern, 2 cocoon membranes, and 1 lantern tube. Oxidization on the sword changes the stats. On the Twilight Sword? Let's see if... Got the Lantern Sword, Dagger, Bacon Shield, and then, yeah, I don't think it does anything to the Twilight Sword. Well, I mean, let's just go with a grunt down into the depths of this investigate and see what happens. So we shall spend an endeavor to do so, and roll a d10. Someone dies. That's too bad. Yeah, maybe we won't do that again this time. So that is going to kill off... Let's kill off Vistim. Vistim is dead. Cause of death. Watcher. Investigation. Dead. There we go. I don't own Gigaline, no. Okay, so yeah, probably not gonna do that again just because we don't have very many endeavors. Let's take a look at the lantern research and see if there's anything there. What is that in this big giant book again? Lantern research 139. There we go. Once every lantern year. Okay, and this is pulse discoveries too. Yeah. Spend 2 bone, 2 hide, 2 organ. You do... Yeah, okay, so we couldn't do that either. Well, I think what we will do is hopefully not lose someone else to this, but we're going to, what is it called again? Is it not shrine? Which is the one to go and find stuff? Scrap smelting. We are probably going to go do that. I think this is on Weapon Crafter, actually. I just didn't want you to miss out on some oxidized stuff that comes with it. So didn't see it in your pile. I appreciate that. The vignettes look really cool, and if they are part of the Black Friday sale, I might pick them up. I'm thinking, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do for the Black Friday sale, but I'll probably get something. And the vignettes are definitely on the list, and maybe Slenderman. Weapon Crafter, where'd you go? There we go. Scrap Scavenge, that was the one I was looking for. So we shall do so. Scrap Scavenge, going down to 2 endeavors. Rolling dice, getting a 7, fantastic. So getting a broken lantern, we like to see that. Because we need more iron. And okay, so I just wanted to check one thing for scrap smelting. Okay, so we'll just do 1. So let's do this one more time. See if we can get another lantern here. 3. Spend 1 survival. We shall do so we don't die. And now let's do scrap smelting, leaving us with 1 point to spend if we want to after scrap smelting. 1 endeavor. Okay, so another d10 roll, getting a 4. Okay, so we can spend 3 scrap and add 1 iron. That we shall do. And strange resources. So we got 1 iron. And with our very last thing here, maybe let's try and get 1 more scrap because we are going to need more of it. Let's see. 7, we do get 1 more. Woohoo! Basic, lantern, done deal. Cool. Well, on that note, I think that is going to be the end of Lantern Year 25. Usually screen for like 6 to 8 hours on Black Friday and guess and answer questions about those most important purchases. But since I just spoiled it, kind of, hey, super cool. I'm assuming, do you start when? So what time is it? It does usually go. I think it's like midnight EST, correct? So that's honestly, I might pop by for the stream and just hang out a little bit too, because for me it's about 9 p.m. at night, so it's not too bad of a time at all. I guess most mileage using People with the Lantern with the oxidized stuff. Oh, that's very true, and I don't know when I'm going to be doing People with the Lantern again, or White Lion with that matter, with Frog Dog coming up, and then Crimson Crocodile ahead too. But the what's it called? The Frozen Butcher, the Butcher vignette looks really, really cool too. Cool. But yeah, I think I'll definitely tune in for that stream. That'll be fun to come and hang out. I've been trying to. I work from home, and so when I've seen you doing the KD Sim stream, I've tried to pop in and say hi a little bit too. It's been fun. Okay. But yeah, I think we'll end things off there for tonight. And yeah, what a crazy, wild adventure this campaign's been. And I think we're going to get absolutely stomped by the Kingsman level 3. But who knows? Maybe our Lose It In will come in absolutely clutch again, because we do have the King Step fighting out with him too. So we shall see how that goes. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been a blast hanging out and playing through this game. And we'll see you in about 2 weeks for the next time, which I think is going to be an Antelope level 3, because we haven't done that yet. But yeah, much love and have a fantastic rest of the night and week. Bye!